It's almost March 8, 2021, and I've exhausted a lot of energy, a lot of the personal resources that I have. Sadly, I did not acquire outside resources. I kept on focusing on doing my work correctly. This is the sad reality that I have faced since September 2017 or October 2017. At that period of time, members of the states, probably high-level staff or former high-level staff, tried to con or to deceive the individuals which were in Europe and the individuals which were in Sweden specifically. They tried to deceive them. Apparently, most of everything were simply empty words. I did a lot of, I spent a lot of time doing like an analysis of the situation and what my own eyes has seen. Unfortunately, it appeared that a large group of people, perhaps a community or a sect, have been fully involved in human trafficking, in order to perform coerced marriages. There are also elderly females involved, somehow saying that well, this is my daughter. They will say that this is my daughter, or they will say this is like her parents are, or they say that her parents are dead, therefore I'm her aunt, or I'm her uncle, as well as fraudulent individuals that were spread all over the place. What I have seen is that a complete lack of inefficiency from the police, perhaps involved with a group of civilians, meaning that the civilian population tell them lies, or tell them perjury, or commit perjury, or tell the authorities false statements in my regard. And if anyone couldn't believe me, it's like during 3 years I have been extremely focused on everything. And as you can see, a pack of racist idiots and thieves who are just in the place in here. And I don't see this as warning, because a warning, if you have done something, you seek warning if you have done something against a civilian, or against like an authority, or against like a company or an institution. The situation now is like international organizations, military forces, and politicians, and individuals of this country should seek peace rather than something else. It has not been improved. I kept on visiting the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and I tell the situation each day about the matter, and my biggest worry is that the officers, meaning like the authority, or like the officers with gun, may start to be involved heavily in child prostitution and forced prostitutions, because apparently, because it's almost like a fiasco that they are not getting paid, and for that reason they may seek another type of resources. And I said the first person who that I registered my claim to in 2017 was none other than, who is like the principal commissaire, was no other than he looks a lot like Hind Uhniya, person who that Mrs. Hilly Thorning Schmidt interviewed. He looks a lot like that woman. So I called him. It was Farid Uhniya who was the first person to receive my first complaint that I made in regard to threats of murder and threats of attempted murder. And those threats came to realization when I was in Sweden in April 2017. When I spoke with him at first, is that, well, there has been like I clearly said that there has been like a case of human trafficking while I was legally in that country, and there has been like some kind of increased hostility from the police station because they managed to commit a Taken One movie crime. And I ended up contacting the International Criminal Court, as there was like a large part of individuals which were subject to forced deportation of an individual legally present in a territory. It was my case, and it was the case of a lot of individuals. So far, we have not received anything because, you know, there are idiots, racists, bigots, French people, and way more within the reception, and they just tarnish the words that they just tarnish the work that elite and competent individuals do. And you got to ask yourself, well, that's the reason you still you didn't leave your situation.